that movie does what everybody said that Argo did, which is like everybody was saying, that Argo, beyond it being set in the 70s, actually recalled the movies of the 70s. And I didn't really feel that way, except, in terms of just the art direction and the costumes and everything. But
right.
But this movie really does recall the 70s movies, I think. It's like...
Oh, you mean that tone. Okay.
That tone, the kind of the look of things, just the sort of no-nonsense kind of look, almost kind of like I will say there's a grain to it, but it feels like there's a grain to it, especially in its last hour, and its last hour is something else. I'm telling you, it is, your heart is racing. I mean, racing.
Yeah, it's pretty terrific stuff, that last hour. But it really does, it really does raise some interesting questions. Now that I've seen it and I'm able to go back and read through all the torture debate in it, my initial feelings on it are that I think what people have a problem with is that it doesn't moralize torture. It doesn't tell you one way or another it's a good or bad thing. It's just a fact of their existence at that time. Which is odd because the right in particular are really rampaging this movie because of its depiction of torture. But usually a liberal movie would apologize for all of that stuff. So they're essentially attacking a movie that is kind of apolitical in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know, maybe I missed something, but I don't think it shows that torture led to any actionable intelligence in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a process of kind of, it's a process movie, so it's like one stone on top of another. So
it's like peeling away the layers of an onion or something.
Right.
In this movie.
Yeah, but the thing that I find more fascinating as a debate is if the CIA misled them in the intel they used for the movie, how much does that discredit the movie?
Well, I don't really who really cares about that? I don't go to the movies.
While you don't care about that, people, there's an article on the Outlook section of the Washington Post today. That is a big deal. While you may not, the American moviegoer may not, it is that the argument is from the left and the right is that torture, I think the problem that the movie has, at least from the inside the Beltway, if we go with that, if we go with the Pentagon, if we go with all the pundits and all that crap that is the Beltway, that people get paid, people's salaries are paid for bullshitting their lives. Let's say that I think the problem with the movie that people are having is it legitimizes torture, and it's saying that because of torture, duress, that we got these results. Now, I have not seen the movie yet. I'll know hopefully by the end of next Sunday what all the
do that.
That seems to be the criticism, though. That seems to be the crux of the criticism, though.
Anybody who's going to criticize this movie already had their mind made up months ago.
Of course.
Because all they want to do, hold on a minute, let me speak. All they want to do is discredit Obama. That's all they want to do. And this is looked at as an Obama win, even if the movie does not portray it like that. In fact, it portrays Obama, if anything, Obama was standing in the way of them actually.
Well, there's a scene where one of them rolls their eyes at Obama in a press conference, saying that torture is not something that is indicative of the American spirit of justice.
Right. Obama's not even a factor in this movie from what I hear. He's not hardly mentioned in it.
It's actually not a political movie. And I think it's just the fact that they don't moralize the torture that's bothering people. But what I'm saying about the CIA is if they have incorrect information in the movie, that could be a big deal. I'm sure it would be a big deal.
Huge deal.
That would be a big deal to Bigelow and Bowl because they want this movie to be accurate. So how much do you discredit the movie if it's got wrong crap in it?
Mm-hmm.
Again, I have to say what I was going to say, which is I don't go to the movies to find out. I don't go to historical movies to find out what happened. because I look at movies, historical movies, as being movies first and historical second. So
right,
and I don't look at Patton to really figure out what Patton was really like, because I know it's a movie and they have to reduce events and shape it in a way that's movie shaped. So
thank you for saying that.
They have to leave out certain things, and I don't go to historical movies for truth. I agree with you, Dean. I agree with you 100%. That goes to documentaries too. I mean, if you go see Fahrenheit 9/11 or 2016, and if your mind is made up who you're gonna, I don't want you in the voting booth. I agree with you that movies are not historical documents. They're not historically accurate. Shame on the director who says that their film is the absolute truth. No, it's not. It's a movie. It's automatically a distortion of the truth. It's true. I mean, the sad thing is, though, I think the three of us are very bright and everything. Unfortunately, we do have people that are easily swayed by what they see on the TV show or on a big screen. Well, I guess you're right about that. And are too lazy to pick up a book.
I guarantee you, though, that if Boll and Bigelow found out, no, this event never happened, while they were developing it, they wouldn't have developed it that way.
I agree with that. They're very bright. And let me say something about Bigelow. She's got more balls than most of the directors that are in the Directors Guild all combined. She doesn't put, obviously, as a woman director, she's put up with a ton of shit. Being the ex-Mrs. James Cameron, she's put up with more shit than most people probably can even fathom. She's not going to bullshit her audience. And I think everyone knows that, especially after The Hurt Locker. I think everyone, she's the real deal. I don't think either one of them. They both unfairly got just crucified, kind of over the last year because everyone was accusing you're making an election movie, a pro-Obama film, and nothing could be farther from the truth, from what I understand. It's not a pro-Obama film. If that's a pro-Obama film, then if I was Obama, I'd sue.
Well, I just feel bad for them. If there's incorrect events portrayed in that movie, I know that they'd probably be really kind of downtrodden about that. So, I mean, I feel bad if they were misled in the information they were given. But this was a really topical movie before they captured bin Laden. They're developing it right up to the point that bin Laden was captured, and then he was captured, and they had to reconfigure the end. And maybe that's the big reason why the last hour is so electrifying, because there's such an immediacy to it. They were reenacting something on the cusp of it actually happening. As soon as Gandolfini comes into the movie in that last hour, when they determine where they think bin Laden is hiding, I couldn't unglue myself from the screen. That was great movie. Let
me ask you this.
I loved everything leading up to that too, the failed attempts to get informants, including one incredible scene that was such a surprise to me that I won't even hint at what happens in it. But there's just one amazing scene in it that's about 45 minutes or 50 minutes in that's very, very shocking. But I was totally invested in that character, in the character of Maya. I just thought she was an outstandingly well-drawn character, and especially well-performed by Jessica Chastain. But Jennifer Eel is in it, and she's good in it, and Gandolfini is. It's funny. When Gandolfini came in, I thought, this is like those cameos in The Hurt Locker. Those little cameos of Ray Fiennes comes in, and then
that's a great cameo, though. That is one of the great cameos.
It is. It is. You never know who you're gonna. Then there's David Morse and a few others.
Let me ask you,
though. Me of that.
Is this the best picture? Is this going to get best picture?
I think all this controversy will hurt it. I think it sways it in Lincoln's favor, actually.
Do you think that because the Academy is such a bunch of wussies, Lincoln is the best picture? Because if they're not going to go for Zero Dark 30, they're sure as hell not going to go for Django.
I don't think it's the torture thing that hurts it. I think it's the fact that there might be wrong information in it. and I do think it will discredit it for Best Picture. And I think it'll go to Lincoln.
Well, of course, this information is just coming out now about this controversy about the wrong information.
It came out of the absolutely worst time, which was the week that the last week they had to vote for the Academy nominations.
Well, I'm not sure that it's going to hurt it, but I don't think that Zero Dark 30, just even without the controversy, I don't think that it's the kind of movie that they go for Best Picture. Now, I will say this. I think it has a good shot at winning editing, maybe a sound award, good shot at the screenplay, and this might be, I think this is going to be a year where picture splits with director, and I think they very well might give her Best Director and give picture to Lincoln, and then Lincoln will win like 4 or 5 other things, and then that's it.